Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle and today we are talking about the New Balance Fresh Foam 1080 version 11. Now let me just say a happy Easter to all of you who celebrate this holiday. It's been a quiet weekend here in the Philippines because Metro Manila, the capital region, is once again on the very strictest form of lockdown. That being said, they did give us opportunity to exercise through this enhanced community quarantine period. And so that's why I was able to complete my review and my impressions of the 1080 version 11. I first started running in these shoes at the beginning of March when I got sent them. All those runs were different sorts of runs, from easy runs to somewhat mid-tempo runs. The only thing I didn't do was a speed session in these shoes because, as I mentioned in my previous video, I haven't done speed in quite a while. The last time I wore a pair of New Balance shoes was in 2017. I will link that blog post for you in the description box below if you're interested in how I generally perceive New Balance shoes. My first marathon running shoe was a New Balance. It was the 1225, or what they called the Christmas shoe, and that was a stability shoe type. Since then, I've run in several New Balance shoes that have been on the neutral side of shoe construction, and the Fresh Foam 1080 version 11 is the same. It's a neutral shoe for people who don't need extra ankle or foot support when they're running. The 1080 falls on the maximal cushion sort of, what's this? It's a spectrum, right? And it's on the maximal cushion part of that spectrum. You should be able to see it from here that that's quite a thick midsole. It starts at 30 millimeters on the heels, tapers off to about 22 millimeters by the toes, and that's an 8 millimeter drop. And what they did with this shoe is, instead of just filing it completely away in maximal cushioning for long runs only, they've tried to make it a bit more multi-purpose, and the full-length Fresh Foam X midsole helps with that, because not only is it supposedly very, very cushiony, but the Fresh Foam X is also very responsive and springy. Now, the shoe also has a hypo knit upper, which has, it has some stretch qualities, but not all across the board. So let's say the toe box is quite stretchy and compressible, while the ankle area is a bit more stable. It's got a traditional tongue construction with just a bit of an attachment band so that the tongue doesn't slide around, which I think is par for the course for most running shoes these days. The laces start a little bit high up on the shoe, on the forefoot. So this should help give the toes and the forefoot a bit more play as you run. They've got a removable insole, so if you do need that certain extra stability that you can get from custom insoles, then you can certainly slide them in to the shoe. This is what they call their Ultra Heel technology, which kind of cups the heel and then keeps the ankle in place without really irritating or putting any pressure on the Achilles tendon. So it's supposed to keep your foot quite locked down and very stable there in the back of the foot, or the back of the shoe. Now, they are actually really light as well. This is 9.3 ounces or 264 to 270 grams. It's quite light underfoot, and that's because the upper it's really made out of maybe one or maximum of 2 layers of material. So there's not a lot to weigh you down when it comes to the upper. Most of the bulk of the weight of the shoe is from the midsole and the outsole. And lastly, the last part of the shoe I want to draw attention to is their blown rubber outsole, which isn't one entire outsole, but it's basically studding the entire midsole with some blown rubber bits that are shaped like honeycombs. This one is a bit dirty already, but I did take a video of these shoes when they were in their pristine condition so that you can see what they're supposed to look like. It's been quite dry and dusty on the roads here in the complex, and that's why I think the shoe picked up a lot more dust than other shoes I've run in and you've seen the reviews of in the past. Also, I have to mention that New Balance is available in a number of different widths. This one in particular, I forgot what width it is. So if you look at the box, this is a D. So it's supposed to be a wide shoe, and I definitely felt that as I was running. Not in a bad way. It was really nice to have that much room inside the shoe and not feel like my foot is suffocating. Whether it's by having too much material inside the shoe or just the shoe itself fitting very, very narrowly. Yeah, let's go into how I felt while running in these shoes. Overall, I kind of was running at lower speeds this month because I'm trying to build a better base for running. I'm trying to get my time on feet to about an hour these days. They were really nice to run in because they were so cushiony. The shoe is actually quite lively underfoot in a sense because when I landed in them, I didn't feel like I was landing in, let's say, a pillow, and then you're just in there. It was kind of like landing on a tartan track. That sort of sensation where you do feel softness, but there's a bit of resistance, which allows you to propel off the tartan, which is the material a running track is made of. So that's how I felt running in these shoes. Now, when it came time to push the pace, I didn't feel like these shoes held me back at all. In fact, I was able to put some heat into my strides. While a lot of the reviews I've seen around noted that these shoes felt optimal when running at moderate to fast speeds, which is strange because this is supposed to be a long run shoe, I still found that it was quite comfortable to run in them at low speeds, which were the bulk of the kilometers I ran in these shoes. Something really surprising about it is, how is a single material midsole so springy? Like, I've run in shoes which have a midsole material, but then there's also something in the middle that gives it its springiness, like a little air bubble or a carbon plate or something like that. But how does this shoe with absolutely nothing in the midsole except the midsole material, how is this so springy? And it was really nice to have that extra spring in my step even as I was running really slow kilometers. So I really do think that the 1080 version 11 is a versatile shoe. If you're a kind of person who doesn't really like keeping many different kinds of shoes for many different kinds of runs, this might work for you, especially if you're a long distance runner and you're not doing that many track sessions anyway or speed work or anything. You're more of the tempo runs and the long runs. Then these shoes actually serve both purposes. If you're the kind of person who uses one shoe for everything, then the 1080 version 11 is a very good all-rounder. Alright guys, I hope this video was informative. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you again next time. Bye!